Just want to do an update video. Been a couple of weeks and been a lot of progress. I'm going to do like last time and go over the new things first, and then just kind of go over it generally for new viewers second. So this is my three-wheeler project, somewhat like a Morgan three-wheeler, somewhat like a British Tri-King three-wheeler, and somewhat unique. It's my earlier videos talk about some of the details, and I'll go into that later, but some of the work I've been doing lately is in the rear end. So if you remember in the earlier videos, this area back here just had a piece of plywood extending back, creating that rounded shape. After I had the plywood in there, I put that metal band around there to create the shape, and then took the plywood out and have been welding in all of this framework to basically create that same shape. Those pieces of plywood will still actually nest inside of there, but they weigh a lot. So they're really just part of the prototyping process. And that's on both sides. But as we go around, the other side's covered, so you won't be able to see it, but it's pretty much exactly the same. Coming around, you can see I've got the rear end here. I've closed it up a little bit. And this is, keep in mind, this is still at the kind of prototyping phase. It's still a little rough, but I'm getting closer and closer each time I'm working on it. So all that gray tin you're seeing there, that's my old air conditioner. Whenever I got the new air conditioners, they were going to haul it away. I said, please don't haul it away. So it's been sitting back there for a wise purpose. I wasn't sure what I was going to make with it, but here it is. I've got enough to do both the sides and the back and the rear piece. So I closed that area in. You'll remember that was kind of an open spot before. And here's the side. Just been doing this today, cutting and shaping that. And it's just clamped in for now, but I wanted to show you guys what that rear end's going to look like. So I'm going to step back a little bit so we can just see what it's going to kind of look like as a finished product. So if you can imagine looking at it from the back. Let me go up and try to give you a top view of it. You can kind of see what the shape's going to be. Coming around to the front. I showed my windshield last time. That's going to be a windshield that was out of a Volkswagen that I cut to create that. I'm actually going to pause the video for a second, and I'm going to take the bonnets off, both the front and back, so that we can look at the metal structure underneath. And so for you, it will just be instantaneous, but for me, it'll just take me a few minutes. So just a moment. All right, here we are with the covers pulled off. So I'm just going to kind of come up on it and just show some of the structure, how it's coming together. You can see all that yellow metal on top. That's actually old bed frame from a bed my daughters used to sleep on. And it's welded in, attached down to the frame. Very solid. And that, I'm going to fill that in so it'll have a deck there. Everything above it will be for all the underdash engine components, all the electronics, all that kind of stuff will be there. And that way it's separate from the tank underneath where my feet will be. Coming around here, again, you can see that same welding we looked at earlier. But this time you can see it in relation to the motorcycle wheel. And I'll just kind of come up here like this and show you how it's kind of boxing that wheel in. I'll probably open that clearance up in the back a little bit there. There's still room, but you know, if you picked up a paper bag or something on a freeway or a little something, it could get pinched between there. So I'll probably open that up at least to be the same as what's on the rear end or on the front half of it. Now you can see the other side there as well. They're not exactly the same because I had to give a little more relief room on this side for that swing arm. It just protrudes out a little bit more on this side. What I'm planning on doing is, you can see my side there completed. To make a way to get into the storage compartment, which will be that area in between the tire and the outside there. On the Morgan, it opens like a trunk, like on a regular car, so to speak. What I'm planning on doing is right down here on the side, I'm going to cut out a spot like that and make it so it rocks out. And so it'll swing out, and then you'll be able to put all your stuff inside of it, swing it back in, and then latch it. And I think I'm going to do that on both sides. The reason I think that's kind of cool is it's unique for one. It lets the top be permanent for two. And the third thing is, by making it that way, I can make them so they swing out all the way, which would give you access to your tire in case you had a flat tire and you need to do maintenance inside the bay, because with both of those out all the way, you'll have access on both sides, almost, just not quite as easy as it is right now, but pretty close. And I think that will be a huge benefit down the road. So that's the new things. For the new people, I'm going to go over just kind of what all's here, how it was built, where all these pieces came from, because it really is a hodgepodge. So to just recap and start out, I bought a Triumph Spitfire car. It was a barn find. It was trashed. I took the body off of it. I took the motor. I sold the motor. I sold the transmission. Took the body to the scrap yard. And you can see the front of that chassis of that car right there, where I cut off where the front bumper goes. You can see it as those two center struts as they go back. And right there where that motorcycle wheel is, that's where the rear axle of the car was. So it's a little two-seater car. And then I bought a Moto Guzzi Breva 1100 motorcycle. That's where I got the rear end, and that's also where I got this sweet V-twin. So this is Moto Guzzi 1100 V-twin. Has a 6-speed sequential transmission built into it. I plan to use that stock transmission. A lot of times they'll replace those with a car transmission, but in the interest of having a super reliable vehicle, I think just using what the Moto Guzzi engineers built is the wisest path forward. So that's the engine, that's the chassis. As far as some of the covers for the front cover here, this is a 1940 Ford car hood, Ford Deluxe. I trimmed it quite a bit so it goes around the motor and makes it look like a 1920s cycle car. For the windshield, it took me like 3 different windshields cutting them, but I was able to cut a Volkswagen windshield and get it to that general shape, and then I taped those two pieces together on top of each other, and then used a diamond grinder that's used for doing stained glass windows to edge that glass and make them basically identical in shape and have a nice edge. Coming around, some of the other things that I have, the rear cover, the rear bonnet, if we want to call it that. It's a 1950 Chrysler car hood. This is just the center portion of it. It used to have kind of a little ripple where it went down another step where it would have made it up to where the front wheels were on the car. I cut those off, and they're actually up here. So this little section of white right there is the steel that I cut off that back hood. So nothing going to waste, right? For the driveline, you see the driveline in there? Driveline off of a Jeep Cherokee. It was just the cheap one I could find on Marketplace, and I picked it in part because it has two center bearings where it can be supported, and you can see as I roll it there, it's all hooked up, hooked to the engine in the front and the swing arm in the back. I also got my steering column, and it's just clamped in right now. I haven't totally put it in, but this is off of a 1990s BMW, and it has electric tilt steering and also electric telescoping steering. So that's going to be really fantastic. The chair in there is just what I'm using right now while I'm building it. I'll put in either handmade seats or something really legit when I get closer to finish. I have Model A wheels, so those are 19-inch Model A car wheels, and then with the tires, that makes a 30-inch tall tire. So the tires are the same height as the heads of the engine, which really makes it look cool from the front. Another thing that's came off something else is these sweet exhaust pipes. Those are off of a motorcycle and Royal Enfield, also British. I just saw them on Marketplace and thought maybe they'd fit, and boy, they fit like a glove. Just beautiful. So that's the project. I want to just give you all an update. I live near Phoenix. It's hotter than Hades here, and so my work pace has slowed down a little bit, but doing the best I can. Y'all, thanks for supporting me. Subscribe. I really appreciate it, and have a great day. Bye.